ケモンマスターズはポケモンバトルをスマートフォンで誰もが手軽に楽しめることを目指しているゲームです。
Hello everyone, Red Day here. Today we'll be talking about the 4.5th anniversary new monster fair, Geeta and Glimmora. Before we start, remember to like and subscribe because that helps a ton. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's start. So, Geeta, aka the woman who never washes her hair, and Glimmora Anaylsis. So firstly, Glimmora's type is poison, and its weakness is ground type. It has the Rose of Field and the EX row of Strike. There is its standard level 140 stats, HP 655, attack 472, defense 176, special attack 472, special defense 174, and speed of 295. So, good attack and special attack stats, but the defense stats is meh, not too good. Now, let's look at its moves. The first one is called Mortal Spin. Its type is poison. It has a max power of 144 and it uses 4 Gorges. It targets all opponents. Leaves the target poisoned and removes a damage field from the allied field of play. Removes the trapped condition from the user. This move is particularly very Gorge consuming and it does not have enough power compared to other moves that uses 4 Gorges. Why do I say that it is very Gorge consuming? Because if you look at the last passive skill down here, it increases the amount of move Gorge slots needed to use Mortal Spin by 2. Which means that when you look back here, it needs to use 6 Gorges to use one single Mortal Spin, which is a lot. Our next move is called Rock Slide. Its type is Rock and its category is Attack. It has a max power of 126 and it uses 4 Gorges and only has an accuracy of 90, which means that it can miss. It has a 30% chance of making the target flinch. Then our next move is called Blooming Mortar Spin. It's a buddy move and its type is Poison. It has a max power of 264. It uses 2 Gorges, but it only has 2 max use. When we look at the same passive skill down here, it increases the amount of Gorge slots needed to use Blooming Mortal Spin by 2 as well. So it means it needs to use 4 Gorges. Activation condition when there is at least one poisoned or badly poisoned Pokemon on the opponent's field of play. It never misses, lowers the target's defense by 3 stat ranks, leaves the target poisoned, and turns the zone into a poison zone, removes the damage field, and removes the trapped condition. So here is a summary. It can open poison zone, plus lower defense, plus it has a high power, but only 2 max uses. Our last move is a trainer move, and it's called I'll Guide You. It only has 1 max use. Applies the super effective up next effects to an ally and increases the physical moves up next effects of an ally by 3 ranks. This is for physical attackers. And now we have our sync move. Top Champion's Guidance Mortal Spin. Type Poison, category Attack. Max power is 300 and it has no additional effects. Now let us look at the passive skills. The first one is called Paldear Flag Bearer, which is a monster passive and is for now the only pair that has Paldear Master passive, which means it can pair up well with Paldear Pokemon like Glimmora and Iono and Grusha. Powers up the moves of all allied sync pairs by 10%, reduces attack move damage taken by all allied sync pairs by 20%, The more allied sync pairs with the podium theme you have on your team, the higher these percentages are. Each additional sync pair powers up moves by 10% and reduces damage by 3%. The maximum power up is 30% and the maximum damage reduction is 26%. Okay. The second one is called Top Champions Pressure. Turns the field of play zone into a poison zone the first time the user enters a battle each battle. Raises the user's attack by 6 stat ranks the first time it enters a battle each battle. Because of this passive skills, when it enters a battle, it can immediately use a move. Instead of like other Pokemon, they use a trainer move to increases like their attack by about 6 stat rounds before the attack. So it has gained 1 move round. And also it can turn the zone into a poison zone, and so it can open poison zones for 3 times. The next one is called Top Champions Radiance. Charges the user's move gauge by 1 when its attack move hits. Increases the user's physical moves up next effects by 1 rank when its attack move hits. This means that it will increase the physical moves up next effects by 3 stat ranks because it moves targets all opponents. And also because it charges the user's move gauge by 1, that means that it can when you use a mortal spin, originally it needs to +2, but because it charges the move gauge by 1, so it means you only need 4 + 1, which is 5 move gauges, which is still a lot, but yeah, you don't need 1 more move gauge to use it. Top Champion's Talent increases the amount of move gauge slots needed to use Mortal Spin and Blooming Mortal Spin by 2, and powers up both moves, except in certain circumstances. Successful hits with the user's following attacks become critical hits, Pokemon's moves or sync move. We've talked about it before. The recommended lucky skill is, as usual, Critical Strike 2. Its theme skills are Poison, Podium, Champion, Passionate Spirit, and Veteran Trainer. Now, my favorite part, Sync Grid. You can see here it's got Mortal Spin with Gauge Refresh 3 at 1 out of 5. And at 2 out of 5, it has Trainer Move MP Refresh 2, Poison Guard, I don't know why, Poisonous Acceleration 2, Poison Zone HP Recovery 1, Rock Slide Aggravation 1, Virulence Toxin 3, and Potent Toxin 2. And 3 out of 5, it has Sync Move Power plus 25 times 2, and it's got Haymaker, which is a pretty good grit, and it had Trainer Move Mighty Friends 9, Ruthless Toxin 9, Bee Mortal Spin Propulsion 9, Impervious Rock Slide Super Duper Effective 9, Toxic Power 5, and ally sets Weather, Terrain, and Zone. Physical boost up 1, 9. Okay, let's go on to our recommended sync grids. So our first one is for 2 out of 5 because as you know, field candies are hard to get, so it will take a pretty long time before you can candy it to 3 out of 5. Okay, so you would see here I have the Poisonous Acceleration 2, which means the move gauge charges quicker than usual, and you can recover your HP when it is Poison Zone, because it opens up 3 times, which means that it can clear most of the game contents with a Poison Zone. And Trainer Move Refresh 2, Move Gauge Refresh 3 for Mortal Spin, and virulence toxin 3 and poison toxin 2. Okay. And 3 out of 5, it has the toxic power 5, which means you can power up the moves. And it has ruthless toxin 9 as well. So this 3 out of 5 sync grid is focused on some utility and nukes by sync nuke or moves. Okay, now let's conclude our sync prayer. The advantages of this Pokemon Glimmora is that it is the first Podia and Poison Monster Fair, and it can open Poison Zone for 3 times. And also it can leave the opponents poisoned or badly poisoned. And it also has good AoE damage because it targets all opponents. And it can lower the defense. And actually, as you know, there aren't any not enough good poison attackers because the others are just a bit worse than usual. So this Pokemon is like really good compared to other poison attackers. But for the disadvantages is that, as I mentioned before, it is God consuming. And it takes a long time to candy because field candies are harder to get. But overall, I can't find any disadvantages other than that. So reasonably, it's a good sync pair. I will put it in the 3rd position in my priority list after NC Silver and SS Stephen.
Before you go, remember to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye.